It's going to be a Mercury retrograde ramble, part 3. And full moon. It's happening tomorrow. Monday, June 29th. The sun is here. This is Sunday. We're here to be created for this retrograde. Okay. Geminis, Virgos. I should have brought my notes, but it don't matter. I don't need it. Gemini, Virgo, Cancers, Aquarius. Well, I'm going to say the main ones that I believe. Gemini, Virgo, and Cancer, and Capricorn. Those 4 signs will be feeling malfunctioned. So, for those of you who are around those signs, not those signs themselves, who are around those signs, don't get too frustrated so quick if they malfunction through the senses y'all are communicating with, okay? Because there will be a lot of miscommunications about how we feel about what's being said, how it's being said. Our senses are our technology as humans, okay? And the senses will get diluted or, you know what I mean, you'll get misguided by your thoughts, you know, because your feelings are going to be so intense and you're going to want to react so quick. But that's just because this full moon in Capricorn that's happening in the 2nd house. You're going to act so quick because the Capricorn is the schedule. It's ruled by Saturn. So the Saturn moon matrix, those who know. Look, you see how I don't like that? That's that conspiracy theory look. But I ain't a conspiracy theorist. I just believe what I've been reading, and then there's some things that I could believe that I choose not to undo belief because I don't put my focus on it. You know, like raw truth, RAW, raw in the mirror, like raw spinach. And you know that I don't know if this is even raw because this could be 3D printed, rawly 3D printed spinach. I don't know. You can't trust the stores. Can't trust the corporates. Can't trust the uniforms. It's just the thing, like, that we have babies and bring them here. Like, if you know that you believe you're under a government's authority, that means you are under your own power and someone else has control of you. So you have to be autonomous. And if we don't know how to be autonomous, then we shouldn't be having children. Because truly, this retrograde and this full moon is going to tell us, like, bro, learn etymology, because no matter how you feel about what you think you're hearing, what you think you're saying, all these words, no matter what you feel about them, they mean something else completely. So you don't even know how to speak. Yeah, we are still babies. Babbling. Because babble has ball. And you give your children balls, right? Anything's sphere. Bouncy balls. You know, and balls are incorporated in a lot of holidays, holy days. But we have to undo what we believe is true tradition for people on Earth. We're Earthlings. We're fucking Earthlings. It's not like just humans. Okay? If you were born on Earth, no matter what species you are an Earthling. That's not the whole separation category. That shit, it don't make no sense. That's all corporate for entertainment purposes only. And entertainment that's the thing. When you call yourself this, you have to act like it. That's the main point. Some of y'all be acting like one point of a stereotype when there's a whole other load of stereotypes you should be acting to be that one category. And then y'all believe y'all all these other categories, but don't tap into all the things that they do. Then y'all wonder why y'all so bored. Because we on a maze game. The Earth is a celestial being. So is the moon. And the moon is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is Father Time. And time makes you believe you have to be in a rush or slow down. Time makes you believe in whatever you believe. I don't believe in time. I believe in clocks, and I see the numbers on them, and I create. I imagine what those numbers mean to me, and how I would sense it. It doesn't matter how I think about it, because no matter what I say, if I don't feel the belief, then I won't be aligned with that reality. And there's certain things that need more focus on believing. However, the things we believe that we only know because full moon in Cancer, Capricorn now. Capricorn is in Cancer. And second house, your home, what our family told us to believe. We believe what the household slaves told us. Household servants. Family lives in a house, people live in a home, because the body is our home first. Your body is your home. You move your home into a house. Depending on the energies that are in the house, makes it more of a home or a house. The difference between a home and a house is house got household, got family, which is household servants. If you look up etymology, like I said, look up etymology. This is the main message for Mercury retrograde. Etymology. Etymology. And that's just the root origin of the words, of how to use the words, or of anything. Because it could be etymology of your last name, and it'll bring to you to like your last name's origin, where they came from, and stuff like that. And then with the truth from etymology, and then we go back to the history we were taught from home or from school, from hell, when we were children, and they would turn us into kids, little goats, little sheeple, growing up to be working for everything else except you. How you gonna work in? If you work in, that means you work for you. If you're working out, you're working for everything outside of you. Y'all allowed to go to the gyms or to work out. Some of y'all just like to go just to be seen. And that's the thing, like, we have to really be honest about our feelings, okay? This is the main point. Mercury retrograde, like, and the full moon in Capricorn, it starts with your home. If you know everyone in your freaking home, your house is unsecure and gossipy and rowdy, and etc., you're gonna have some of those traits. However you express those traits makes a difference. Because we are different homes, but we house similar energies that we can use. However, we display them differently. What else? Then the minor little signs, which would be Aquarius, Aries, and Scorpio. For me, I feel like this is gonna manifest as a slowdown for now. But it's gonna come back around. And then let's talk about the numbers. So June 29th, that's 11. 2 plus 9 is 11. I told y'all before, I don't even bother with the ones. Okay, I'm an 8. My life path is an 8. I thought I was a 7, which is why I got this on me. The 7. That's because that's my ego birthday. My ego. Whole time, I'm really born on the 21st. Now that makes me an 8. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense now, because when I did the research on both, I'm like, I knew something was missing. I was like, make no sense why I was so focused on this in my life. But it makes sense because, listen, there's so much going on, so much information. It's how you represent it, and you recite it, and you throw it out and put it in, all that. You learn about Western astrology and Vedic astrology. That's like the Indian astrology. That's like, for me, how I perceive them. My Western astrology is my ego land. Okay, that's my ego chart. That's all the energies I can use on this virtual reality I believe I live in when the ego is there. But my Vedic astrology, I believe that's the spirit zone. That's the spirit realm. So any spirit can come from me. The ego, you're expected to see and sense this one, but my spirit, you don't know what to expect, because sometimes you can't explain what's coming. That's why Mercury retrograde, full moon Capricorn, second house, and Cancer is talking about your home, like your deep inner feelings. Scorpio, you are the deep waters. Cancer is the pool. You know what I mean? Like, it's shallower. So some family members are shallow and they're very jealous. And Scorpios, your beauty is very sexualized, even if you're not trying to have that be perceived as what you're trying to represent. You could be trying to, try more sensual look, try to tap into your feminine look, and then they take it as like, wow, so sexy. It's like, chill, sensual, okay? But 9 a.m. podcast. But Aries. But yeah, no. So there's gonna be a lot of like family, sexual trauma resurfacing. Holidays are coming and we don't want that uncle coming around. We all got babies again, so he ain't coming around siphoning energies. No. 1122, master numbers. What do you do? Oh yeah, like I said, master numbers. So 11s, for me, they're like, 11's a master number, so we don't break it down to 2. So 11 to me is like the before the thought exists. Like, yeah, we have an idea, but we need a plan, so before the plan, you know what I mean? So for me, 11s are that. You had what I would say Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Stay to yourself. If you can, don't go to work. Don't shop anywhere. Stay home. Tap into yourself. Tap into how you really feel since you came to Earth, since you can remember. All the experiences you had. Even thoughts you may think you don't remember so foggy, because some people like, nah, that didn't happen like that, or whatever the case may be, and you're like, but something still feels like something's missing. Truthfully, things can manifest. This example, this is going to be individual, my life. A lot of people, me and my husband meet, they like to say a lot of good things about us. And yeah, a lot of good things about us is true. And that's times, that's times infinity and beyond. But no one sees the times that we use our Cancer energy when we're crying because our foundation feels attacked. No one sees the roughness of the fraud that's going on everywhere in the land we live on. And we are aboriginals. Our blood is from Earth. We all can, eat free, shelter free, harmony, bliss. But you're letting money, fiat money specifically, ruin the likeness that we are of Earth. It's traumatizing. And then Sibyls like me have to transmute all of y'all fearful energies. It's spooky. Let's get spooky with Mookie. Now y'all lucky Mookie's here. Because I'm 8. I'm karma. I'm instant. Instant grief or instant happiness. However you choose to view your reality, I will mirror what you are giving me. Now listen. That's just for numerology for 8. But for my husband, he's a Gemini. So, and in the ego land, he's Gemini. But in the spirit realm, he's Taurus. In the ego land, I'm Taurus. But in the spirit realm, I'm Aries. So I feel like, spiritually, I gotta, because Aries is fast, quick acting. Okay, they like to do stuff. So Aries, slow down. And so I get triggered very easily because my moon's in Cancer in my ego land. Okay, my moon's in Cancer, so the moon is in its sign, and it loves to be there. And I'm very big mama, So when my husband, he won't hear me or something, or whatever be going on in his mind, whatever translates, I don't know. But when he responds to something, and it's the same vice versa, when it don't even make sense on the answer that's being, answered, like from the question, I just be like, silence. Because then he can process, and then we'll both, figure it out. Because if you speak, like, because I could have been like, bro, I said this, or I could have had an attitude with him, or, like, what the, listen to it, whatever the case may be. Like, I've done that before with past, imaginations, So it's like, no one in my family, we never had a house, but we had an apartment. It's supposed to be where we grew up at. I Googled it, and it's a townhouse, supposedly. But it's really a projects, but they try to make it look good, but it's trash, for real, because it was infested with holograms. And what we call holograms, is what y'all would call roaches. We don't like saying the words because it manifests. That's the thing. There's so many things to talk about with the retrograde. And see, that's the thing. You wouldn't expect how no one grew up. Like, so that's the thing. You don't know how anyone feels about anything. Bro, you have grown up in a shitty ass place. And you think that's the best place ever. Until you get older and you realize where the heck you're at. Until you get conscious. Because Mercury, in the third house, rules consciousness. This is conscious actions, okay? Just because Mercury is in retrograde doesn't mean that your conscious is gone. Doesn't mean that. It means you're going to be moving with your intuition, okay? More. Heighten your intuition. It's like we're going to be playing as a childlike heart. But we're not going to be thinking like a child, okay? We're just going to... Matter of fact, let me take that back because we have to go back on Mercury retrograde. That's the thing. You get mistranslated. What I'm saying is, we have to think like a child, okay? But since we're acting, because Mercury retrograde is going back, so we're not thinking logically. Adults think logically, okay? The big ones do. However, the heart, the full moon is going to be in Capricorn and Cancer, and that's the child. The children, like I said, we have children to bring them home. Home is Earth. And they roam. Why do you think Rome is just entertainment purposes only? And Rome just entertains war. The mirror and war in the mirror is raw, like I was saying. Raw, R-A-W-W-A-R. And raw is just a raw truth. Like, hey, you are the greatest. However, others may not believe that. Doesn't matter. Because how you feel defines what you do. But children, when they're brave, they're going to do anything. They're going to imagine. And even when they're not brave, like a child's mind is imagination zone, not illusionary life like the adults, okay? You need to have a child mind and an adult heart, because the adult heart is you've been through these experiences already. Where do you want to stay grounded? Do you want to keep going to work even though you still feel like you're suffering? I'm being patient. You know what the etymology of patient is? To suffer. Come on, that's what I'm saying. We need to learn etymology. This is not just talking. I'm not babbling. I'm speaking. There's a difference. Different tones. We get triggered so easily. So we don't even know how someone else can manage their mind and their emotions. Because sometimes it is afraid. It's hard to speak because y'all be afraid to be seen. It's not about being seen. It's about being sensed, being acknowledged, knowing that what you're saying is true or false. And then guess what? You can agree to keep believing on things that was harmful for your illusionary life, or you can keep believing on things if you're going to keep living in the virtual reality. Virtual just means manliness. So if if you're acting more masculine, you in a virtual reality, okay? We need to be treating our bodies like feminine, like physically, because physical etymology is nature, natural. So we need to be acting natural. You know how they say, oh, she's coming by, act natural. Whatever. It's like, you have to act natural for real. Your body you have to tune into your body. Because this full moon is in Capricorn, I told you, like I said, the bones. Capricorn rules the bones. So it's gonna be bone dense, and they be changing etymology, so that's why you really need like old book. But when I looked it up like 2 years ago or a year ago, whatever, the etymology of bone was to stretch, or the etymology of stretch was bone. One of those. So in my head, I was like, okay, my bones will clearly have to stretch then, and it's not really like you're stretching your bones. You're stretching your muscles on your bones, because your bones are just there. It's a frame for your muscles to attach to. Like, we have no idea how our body actually even works. So it's like, how are you going to sit here and label yourself and let others label you, like doctors? Doctors don't exist. They're just like politicians. They're just poets. Doctors don't even know what the fuck they're doing for real. But I'm not coming at all doctors, because some people, there are some people that actually like to heal people and get the information, the true information. And some of them leave the system because it's corrupted. But some of them stay there and really stay true to as much as they can. So shout out to y'all. But those are the ones who just do it for the fiat money. Y'all whack. Y'all whack. Yeah, no, y'all don't know nothing. That's the thing. Like, I overheard this guy who was talking to this guy, and he was talking about how he had a buddy who was a doctor, and that he would ask his patients what their symptoms were, and the patients would tell him the symptoms, and he would just go on Google and then literally just go based on that. And that's the thing. That's why it makes sense, because it's like, truly, I was thinking about myself earlier when I was in school, and I was like, first of all, my parents want to sit here and, they didn't really push, like, get good grades, but they didn't want you failing, you know what I mean? But, so me, I was like an A, B student until, like, maybe middle school, I got, like, a C. But then I realized, as in high school, who gives a fuck? But, truly, and how I would pass would be, I would, like, Google that shit, copy, paste, and change a couple words so it wouldn't be plagiarism. Like, a lot of people do that. So, because it's like bullshit how we have to learn a bunch of things that we don't really need to learn. Entertainment, and the system is so corrupted. The entertainment system is so corrupted because they attack our children, and our children think this is okay to, represent the madness. You're going outside your mind. Etymology of mad. Look it up. You're not crazy. Well, we are crazy because we are full of cracks. Etymology of crazy is full of cracks. So, and I'm more silent than what I was because, I know how powerful words are. You can't, people talk about do magic, do root work, but it's like, you won't know root work. You won't know about how to do magic if you really don't know what these words are really saying. And that's the thing, like, we're not supposed to be speaking like this. We not supposed to be speaking like this. French is yes, right? Mm-hmm. But then not. N-O-T, mm-hmm. The K is silent. Not. So you're tying something together. Supposed to be. So if the idea is we shouldn't be doing this, and isn't even a word because it should not, and not is still in there. They think they slick. You know what I mean? The O, they take the O out because it's not tied yet. It's the Ouroboros. It's a circle. But anyhow, we just didn't even know what the heck we're talking about. So that's why etymology is real good. And little word changes will assist you stupendously. Or just stupendously. I don't know. You're not stupid unless the etymology is stupid means something else. We ain't slow. We ain't retarded. And no, I ain't coming for no, any labels you try to put anyone in. Retarded just means slow. That is it. And if you are slow in life, then you will be slow. You are going to be in a field of slow. Doesn't mean just because you're slow, you're not going to be where you need to be or understand when you need to comprehend something. I was retarded. I thought I was very smart, but I was smart. I was causing sharp pain to myself from my imagination. Our imagination is key. That's why Earth name is really key. Earth has many names, but one of it is key. That's because everywhere you go, you can be home. That's why. And know that you can say no. That's what I've been learning too. Like, I say yes a lot of times when I really wanted to cry, and sometimes I did later when the action was done. But, you know, no, I've been saying no more, and it feels good, you know, but my nervous system is like, this is like rocket power. It's like high. So my body like shakes. Well, I feel like my body's shaking. It's just my adrenaline. Because I saying no wasn't like easy for me. Because, you know, my ego, like, going back to my ego chart, right? My Jupiter is in Aries. So that means I'm ready to go. I'm ready to try. Let's do it. Yeah, we do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And even with that, I didn't really have many experiences that were different. There were some categories, but experiences, they felt the same. Like, if it wasn't me, like, eating a lot. And that's the reason. That's only because the trigger, because my dad's mom said I was too skinny at like 4 years old, and so I got addicted to food, you know. So it was like, and then here I am, I want to be skinny, but I see myself skinny, and no, I don't, because even though no matter how I look, I like how my body morphs. I like it, and it's not gonna. We don't all look the same every day, so I like my body. I like where I take it. I like how I, morph it, because my Jupiter's in Aries. Start with my head. What's in your head? Mercury, your brain. So Mercury's gonna be retrograde. I can't even use my ego, because that Jupiter in Aries is gonna be doing a lot of miscalculations. So this is why with my Gemini, he's gonna be, misguided a little bit, because he's going back. His sign's going back to something in his heart. So he's gonna, this might be something coming up in his life where he's like, you know what? Fuck it. We got the opportunity. Let's go. Because me, Jupiter in Aries, I ain't gonna be making the decision first. It's gonna come to him, and then he's gonna have to, agree or deny. And when a Mercury retrograde is done, he will see how it manifests, how that choice manifests, and whether he likes it or not, that's gonna be it. And I'm excited because I know it's good. I know it's good because my spirit side, my Mercury is in Pisces and my Jupiter is in Pisces. So that's my intuition. That's my spiritual one. That's my, that big psychic mama. She's a Sybil. I'm a Sybil. Like, I ain't Sybil. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole difference. And you don't need to speak. Pisces is silent. Behind closed doors. Secrets no one really got to know. So it's like, hey, maybe I did think about them to come to you and see if you like the groove. And we go. And whatever species it is, we will go. Or whatever the case may be, anything can be manifested if you see through here. Because listen, etymology of manifestation, I believe when I looked it up, it meant head. Okay? Aries rules the head. Okay, so that's what I said. Aries is gonna be affected too, because Mars Mars is gonna be in Gemini in the second house. A lot of things happen in the second house. That's the home, okay? And with my husband, he knows where we about to go, and we're gonna be going right head into this retrograde, okay? It's like he is like the little electric thingy on a motherboard, and he's just, all right, we're going. And he goes to every little dot, and he has to like put light back into it, because electricity is gonna come out. There's gonna be a lot of blackouts, and we have to go around the land, and he's gonna be recalibrating it with his presence.
A little one.
Just a little tiny one, because there's many other little tiny ones. Geminis and Virgos specifically. Y'all will be roaming. You have to. Geminis and Virgos, you have to go outside more, okay? Because a lot of malfunctions will happen. Speak less, but walk more, run more. Just go around the world more, okay? Because your energy needs to be aligned. You can't stay in the house. Everyone else, stay in the house, as much as you can. But the Geminis and the Virgos and the Cancers, you have to be outside. Cancer, It's when you go outside, just know that you are going to be throwing the energy waves because you're the water. It's going to be flooded, okay? Your energy is going to flood the earth with the structure it needs, okay? The stability it needs to be consistent with its goals, its long-term goals, okay? So this is the main point. We have to work in ourselves together, unos eternos, united forever, undo United States Corporation. We ain't celebrating them. Fuck 4th of July. We ain't doing nothing on the 4th. No fireworks. Wait till the 5th. That's the change. 5 is change in numerology. We have to make a shift ourselves, make a statement, a bold one. One that's minor, but is major to the corporations. And they shut down. And we, the people, will live how we earthlings, will live how we need to live on Earth. Because truly, I like Earth, high degree. However, I don't know how to plant food yet. I like to eat food. So if any of you know how to plant food, then welcome me and my crew, which is my husband and my cat, and our cat. And, put us on your land so we can grow some food. You got to teach us, assist us, give us a skill, and we can share our knowledge and just be united for real. Wisdom is not hard to come by. Y'all so quick to come, but y'all don't come on. Come on to the wise side. Ain't no wise guy. There's females here too. The heck? And that's the thing. Clones exist, bro. And I'm telling you this now because how am I in California? But I know I see so many people that I see in Connecticut. My home state. My program state. How the fuck I see all these duplicates of Connecticut beings in California? And not only just California, all through the South. All through the South, and the East Coast, all to the South, all down the coast to the West Coast. That's because there's limited basic structure needed to be used, to be formed as something. It is the little tiny minor details that create such a big difference. Another thing is we are characters, right? However, we bring the spirit inside this character. Spirits. That's why a lot of y'all drink alcohol because y'all want to play as something else. It's because why I think alcohol, real name is spirits. Because it's unlimited spirits. I used to drink. I don't drink like that unless it's wine, but I barely drink wine. But I won't turn down wine. And I'm at a point now where I'm a sibling. I know I could chug a whole bottle and I'll be fine. I'll be actually clear as fuck. I'll be clear. I'll be seeing everything. I know that. However, environments and choices, do I want to? Do I choose to? Yeah, I could. I know I'll feel good, but even if I don't, I know I'll feel good, so it don't matter. There's choices like that where we have been programmed since we were children. Commercials, TV shows, movies. They promote these things that make us feel like we could try it, that we should have it, So we're like, whoa, what is this? Because they 33 on the timer. They plant it because it's like they want us distracted as children so we can become distracted adults so we won't rise together and play along how we need to. Why y'all getting mad someone taking from a corporation when they throw away hundreds of food every day? Hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe even hundreds of pounds of food every day. It's disgusting. And those of you who, oh no, they don't do that. There's many articles of other people who believe they didn't do that found out that they did do that, and they posted it. Also, if you go yourself and you walk the land into the garbages, you will see exactly how much food is wasted. I remember one time in Connecticut, I went to Aldi's, and when I went to the bus stop behind Aldi's, I had to pass the dumpster. Bro, I looked in that dumpster. It was, I didn't climb the dumpster. It was like, you could see it when you're walking, because it's like a little tiny hill, but not too much of a hill, but you could oversee the garbage. And there's a little bit overflowing anyway. So, there was so much frozen food in there. So much food. I don't want frozen food like oranges, like vegetables, like celery and stuff like that. I seen that. I had to catch a bus, so I didn't even try to go up in there. And I was at the dumpster diving back then, so I didn't do that. And see, That, I don't know if that was a Mercury retrograde season, but that was. And then, traveling, I see lots of waste. Okay. But however, that's the thing. We, as a majority, have to stop massing. Mass. First thing that comes to mind when it comes to mass, me, is that church, the gatherings, right? But I look up etymology of mass, and that shit means dismiss. So why are we coming here? You're not being acknowledged. You're a minor authority. That's why they call you minorities if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Mexican, all that stupid stuff. Strawman stuff is like fiat. You ain't getting nothing for real. So why you living it? Live on the land and you'll get life. You'll get true living. You get true experiences of how energies really are. Some people travel by themselves. Some people have companions. Some people have groups. Some people have tribes. We're just a group. Unos Adanas, earthlings. Every species you see on this earth, most of them might be from Earth. The rest, I don't have no say. Because yo no sé. And that's the thing, like, too much fraud being hypnotized to our children, turning them into kids. If you look at the etymology of child or children, it's fruit of the womb. If you look up the etymology of kid, it's goat. If you look at what a sheeple is, it's a brainwashed human that's letting the government take control of them and their children's minds by attacking their hearts and their homes. In their homes. That's a silent bomb. That's the real war in your home. Because what you create in your house, you bring out into the public matrix. Because it's like your house is like a place that contains. You ever seen that video that's going viral of this girl? She was at a protest, and she like put a dome or something over tear gas, and she put water in it and to stop it. It's like that. Our house is the dome that contains the nuclear fusion, which is you and your children and whoever else is in the house. All y'all going around doing all these energy exchanges, y'all causing up ruckus. That's why you can't stay home, because that's the thing. A lot of y'all be arguing with y'all people in your houses. That's because they're persons, and some of them are dirty persons, dirty straw men, and they're not for you. They're energy vampires. They're energy leeches. They're gross. Okay, you don't need them, and this retrograde is going to teach you which exact ones you don't need. You undo the ties spiritually and virtually and physically. Holy Trinity. But it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be very much. I'm gonna be laughing a lot. I know, because I know you NPCs are gonna be acting wonky as heck. So I'm gonna be laughing a lot. Don't get triggered. Don't get triggered, because I tell y'all now, it don't mean nothing. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth in any tone. Any spirit coming from me will tell you the same thing. I'm just excited because it's like, people like to call the people crazy and stuff like that because they believe in the skies. Why wouldn't I believe in a sky that I can see? Y'all expect me to believe I'm living on Earth? Earth. This planet didn't tell me its name is Earth. What the heck? I'm supposed to believe because y'all say, huh? But Earth exists, but all these other planets exist, but we're not gonna, regard anything that they can bring. If Earth can bring all this fruit in any form, what can all the other planets bring? Well, Mercury brings information. Venus brings love and self-healing. Well, self-love, actually. And Mars brings war and passion and action, drive, the will. And, I don't really know the planets in order like that. But Uranus brings innovation. Neptune brings your wildest dreams, you know, and so on and so forth. Saturn brings you restrictions. So, not only is it going to be Mercury retrograde, going back, the full moon in Capricorn that is ruled by Saturn will be blasting. Okay, so that's gonna feel like, oh, we're going back, but hot. It's like you grabbing a dog by its tail while it's trying to run. That's what it's gonna feel like. Oh, I gotta go back to this. No, don't go back to that, because you know exactly how you're gonna feel about that. That's how Saturn's gonna be. Yeah, you could do your little Mercury retro tricks, you know what I mean? Like, go ahead and go back to what you think you need, but there's some things that I'ma hold your paws on. Hold on, because some of y'all believe in time, okay? For those of you who believe in time, your life will feel slow or too fast. If you believe in death, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in death. I don't believe if you live, you might become evil if you look at yourself in the mirror, because you'll be very vainful because you're so beautiful and you're like, whoa, I actually like living for this thing. I like to see this thing whenever I can. Because if you look in the mirror of live, Live, it's evil. It's evil. So, how you choose to live, you would choose to be evil in someone's perspective of their reality. That's the thing. We got to be aware of the realities other people live. However, we don't got to get involved in every reality that they live. You can choose. You are the master of your life. You are the captain of your vessel. Your vessel is your meat suit, your avatar, your character, your straw man. Call yourself a vessel instead of a straw man. Don't go to work. Don't be a citizen. Oof. Do what you choose, and you will live how it goes for you. Unas Satanas, namaste. Happy Mercury retrograde.